Hi, I'm Danita Vigil with IPX1031 Exchange Services, and this is my business partner, Tracey Wilson. Tracey is really good at explaining what we call drop and swap when you have an LLC and somebody wants out of the partnership. Tracey, will you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So in doing a 1031 exchange, one of the requirements for the IRS is that the same taxpayer or the same tax return that owned the relinquished property should be the same entity or tax return on the new replacement property that you exchange into. So if a person sells, then the person buys. That's relatively straightforward. But what happens when the relinquished property, the old property, is owned in, say, a partnership or an LLC? Can that partnership or that LLC do an exchange? And the answer is yes, it certainly can. The problem arises where you have, let's say, three partners in a partnership, and one partner says, I don't want to do an exchange. I simply want my share of the sales proceeds, and I'm willing to pay the tax, I'm willing to go away. But the other two partners say, we want to do an exchange. How do we actually structure that? A couple of different ways. One of them is, again, the idea, the concept is to preserve the entity, preserve the partnership. Think about the partnership as if it were a car. And to begin with, there are three passengers or three partners in the car. One of the passengers in the car says, I don't want to do an exchange. I'd like to get out of the car. So how do we do that? The partner that wants out can surrender their partnership interest, or if it's an LLC, their membership interest, and in return, they'll get a deeded tenant in common or TIC interest. And we do that prior to the sale. So now, at the closing of the sale, there's going to be two sellers. One seller is the partner that decided to deed out into that TIC interest. The other seller is the remaining two partners still in the partnership. Then the closing happens. The leaving partner gets their fair share of their net sales proceeds. The other two that stayed in the partnership now do the exchange for just their portion of the sale, and they move forward and do a 1031 exchange. So there are several different little magic things that we can do with partnerships, dropping and swapping, or whatever the case might be. Call us and we can help you structure your exchange.